everybody, this is Ryan from Arlos ASMR. So we're going to do another cooking and eating video. I'm going to go ahead and cook up some pasta today, as you can see by the title. So I'm boiling some water to get us started. And yeah, just going to go ahead and get that water to boil right there. Or get it filled up the pot with water. Then we're going to get it boiled. Now, I don't use any sort of salt, and you're not supposed to use oil because oil and water don't mix, so you're just wasting oil. And I put salt in it to keep it from breaking up the noodles, but I just go ahead and throw that in there. I got an onion, and it's a very good onion. I'm just giving you that close up there. Zoom in. I'm gonna cut off either end of the onion, get that cut up, and take the skin, I guess you'd call it, like the peel. I don't know what you call the onion. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get that peeled off there. Throw away the peel and all the two ends of the core, I guess you'd call that. And then I'm gonna rinse off the onion. You can get that nice and stuff there. And I'm gonna start chopping the onion. And my onion chopping skills are not the best, so I hope you don't judge. As you saw in the last video, the last cooking and eating video. But if this is your first time watching my cooking and eating video, yeah, I'm good and I'm decent, but I really have an issue with the cutting board, I think, where it's just too small, and I have another cutting board, but it's way too big. So I'm kind of having the Goldilocks problem of not having a good enough size cutting board, which is why it's kind of slipping and sliding, and I'm trying not to cut myself because that would be embarrassing in a cooking and eating video, if I were to actually cut myself while in the middle of the process of cooking. Alright, and I'll chop the other end of the onion. Alright, as it just keep on chopping it up there. Now I have the onions chopped up. There you go. That's how I chop up the onions. Now the water is boiling. I will show the pasta that I am going to use. I believe I showed that first. Yep, the burrito pasta, the spaghetti. I always use this if I'm eating spaghetti. And then I'm put that in the pot boiling water. And then I am going to, as you can see, it's a Prego sauce can. It's just a Prego home style Alfredo. Anytime you ever see me use an Alfredo recipe, I am typically using this sauce or a version of this sauce, either this or like a great value sauce. But as you can see, I'm just breaking it up in there. And yeah, like I said, no salt or anything like that. That's unnecessary for me. I mean, I could, but I just don't really see the point. It doesn't make it do anything for me. It's just I cook it up. I don't mind the texture of the pasta or anything that happens when it is cooked. I cook it to a really good point every time. And as you can see, I'm getting out the pan. Or just like a skillet right there, and then that's what I'm gonna do with the chicken. I'm gonna heat it up. It's already pre-cooked chicken. Soul's chicken, Soul's Kitchen, fajita chicken right there. And there you go. There's the Prego Alfredo sauce, or the Alfredo sauce, homestyle Alfredo. That can there. And there's some butter that I put into the pan. And I'll be giving you a better vantage point as well, so that you can see more, because I really just wanted to, when I'm trying to make these videos is at least this particular portion is, I'm always going to try and have like good angles. It's just a little awkward with the kitchen that I currently have. I mean, I don't have like a tripod. I have a little stand thing, not really a full tripod. So here we go. I'm cutting that up, cutting that off, and then I'm gonna put that in there and let that simmer for just a few minutes. I don't let you do the whole like minute, like actual minutes, like right here. It's gonna cut to me putting in the onions, but as you can see, I'm just giving a good stir to the pasta there, and then yeah, there's the stir to the chicken. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the onions in. There we go, and there's the onions. Go ahead and put the onions in there. Mix it all up, and then I'm gonna add some seasonings. And how I always do the pasta, because I don't make it super redundant unless I feel like it's under seasoned, is whatever the meat and stuff like that, however I season that, I always tend to mix that in with the pasta and then pour the sauce on. And it still keeps a lot of the flavor in the pasta, like it actually incorporates well. I don't feel like the sauce drowns out or whatever the flavor. Like I don't feel a reason to season after the pasta's already done. So however I season the meat and whatever I'm doing there, I just let that be the flavor of the dish. And that way I can taste all the flavors and stuff while they're incorporated. So I don't find that to be too big of an issue if that's ever a concern. And then yeah, so what I just do is mix it all up after I put all the seasonings in. Just gonna let that simmer there for a little bit, and then I mix it up again. There you go, there's a good vantage point of what it looks like. And then I'm gonna go ahead and strain the pasta, because the pasta's almost done there. There you go, you can see it's getting pretty done. Look at them long noodles. Beautiful. So then I go ahead and strain the pasta, and then I'm gonna add it back, and then also mix in the chicken and onions mixture from the skillet. And that's just me turning off the eye, but also I put the wooden, don't worry about the wooden spatula being on the hot pan, that I ended up taking care of that in this next clip here. But there's the Alfredo sauce. Go ahead and mix that in, put that in the sink, of course. And then I'm just mixing it in there, and probably a little bit more aggressively than I would like. I see there's a noodle. There's a tiny bit of sauce that comes out too, just because I guess I was a little aggressive or I was hurrying up. I guess I must have been pretty hungry. But this is pretty much how I make my pasta, and let me know what you guys like of these cooking and eating videos, and also let me know of any tips if you would like to share. But pretty much this is just how I do it, and then we'll be getting on to the eating portion hereafter. But yep, and then I just mix it all, mix. Make sure you guys get a good look there, and then as you can see, this is the finished product. But now we're gonna get on to the eating portion. What's going on, everybody? This is Ryan from Let's Say Some More. So today I have chicken Alfredo, pasta, spaghetti. That's, you could tell that by the intro of the cooking, and this is another cooking and eating type video. Now, I don't have like a concrete plan for this video. I'm just gonna be chatting and talking and eating like I always do. I can open up my letterbox and kind of chat about movies if I want, but I feel like that's all I've been doing recently. Oh, but also, I've been playing. I started Stardew Valley. I know that's a very ASMR type video game. A lot of ASMR artists have played it. So I'm considering playing that game. I don't know if I just want to do it like purely whispered, or if I want to do like a slight eating or snacking or gum chewing, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I don't know if that's what I want to do, but I'm considering it. I think I do want to do just like a regular whispered one, see how it goes. Gum chewing would also elevate it. We'll see. The last movie I watched, it's sci-fi, but not specifically horror. It has thriller and like slight horror elements, but it's not very scary. It's Cloverfield Paradox. Which I remember watching and liking years ago when it came out, but I rewatched it recently, and it's pretty solid. And in fact, all of like the Cloverfield movies, if you've never seen them, are all, pretty good films. Because, like, they're kind of like, it's kind of like an anthology where none of them interact, like, none of them build off any of them. They're all different, 3 different versions of the same type of, like, world, of a world that, well, I'll let you watch the films. I don't want to even give you any hints, because if you look it up, you may see a trailer, but really try to go into a Cloverfield movie blind and have an open mind. You know, and it is kind of like sci-fi. Yes, it is basically like sci-fi thriller type thing. And the three movies are Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and the Cloverfield Paradox. And I'd say my favorite probably is 10 Cloverfield Lane still. The original Cloverfield is like a found footage. Like it's just someone with their video camera. And that's what plays into what makes it so good. But it's not my favorite form of like a film, you know. I'm not really into found footages all that much. I've had a few that I've really enjoyed, but if I go into a movie knowing it's a found footage, I may not watch it. Like, in terms of, like, if I was gonna go to a movie theater and watch a film. If it's for free and online, I'll watch anything, you know what I mean? But, like, in terms of if I was gonna go to, like, a film that's released in the theater, and if I was gonna go and watch that, yeah. I want there to be some cinematics. Some cool shot. I want to see the scenery and stuff. I don't want the movie to feel like it was just some dude on his iPhone making weird stuff. That's just me though. I have watched one of the VHS ones, and one of the VHS movies I watched recently was pretty good. I don't remember which one it was. It was probably whatever the first one in the series is. Or the first and the second one or something like that. But like I said, you know, I'm trying to be more like consistent with these videos. And once a week works for now. Otherwise, I'll just wait like 2 weeks before making a video, as how it's been recently. And I'm gonna try and see if I can develop a way to do two movies, or not 2 movies, but to do 2 videos a week, 2 movies a week. Because in my head, I'm thinking I need to watch more movies, even though I've been watching in a crazy like shit time. Like I think I've been watching like 4 movies a day for the last 5 days. Or at least like I've been averaging 3. And on some days I've only been able to watch 2, but I've been averaging about like 3 movies a day. Or at least every other day. So like I'm watching 10 movies a week. So at minimum, right? I'd say that's more than what the average person probably watches, like 4 or 5 movies a year. Like when stuff comes out in theaters, they'll pick something they really like and just go for and watch it that weekend. If you're doing more than that, you're probably a bit of a movie buff. We have been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, like almost like it's my job. This is my job, but oh, it's actually starting to thunder. It's gonna rain here soon. If you guys hear that, I hope it's relaxing, but I've pretty much, I hope you can hear that. I think for the last 4 days I've played Stardew Valley for at least 5 days, or for 5 hours each day. Like I'll be on the game and I'll just be playing it, and multiple days in the game go by, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, just gotta get past this day, get past this day, get past this day, and then I look at the time and I'm like, I've been playing this game for almost 8 hours straight, which is funny because I played it for 45 minutes with a friend, and I thought, oh wow, this game, this game probably really isn't my speed, and I played it for 45 minutes. I was like, hey, listen, and I wasn't in the mood to play it right then and there. And with that particular person, because the person kind of was like, hey, let's play the game, but she did it in a way that she was trying to like egg me on to play, like, oh, I'm gonna force you to play this game with me, and you have to play it with me if I buy it for you, which I took a little bit more negatively than maybe I should have, but there's some other factors as to why. And I just didn't really care to play it. And I put it down for a while, but then I was like, well, maybe there's more to this game. I'll do my own, like, little playthrough while I'm just listening to people talk. And I'm like, oh, this game is actually addicting. I'm gonna keep playing it. And there you go. So I might do it either. I keep saying every video when I live stream soon. I could also play it live for you guys while doing ASMR. But I also just want to do a regular live because I used to do this a little bit. I'm reaching 4K subs. I'm making all kinds of a mess today. But I'm reaching 4,000 subs, so thanks for all the new, subscribers. You guys are awesome, but I'm thinking I can do a 4,000 subscriber live stream probably soon, but also just do a regular one. Maybe not even for that, just a regular one, who knows. But and this is just a video that I think I probably ought to do this specific meal because I eat so much Alfredo, but never chicken fettuccine. But this is still spaghetti Alfredo. But I think you guys will enjoy it. But that's what's been on the docket. That's kind of what I've been thinking of. I'm still in my horror phase of watching horror movies, and I've been watching just a lot of them. And the reason some of them I don't want to review because I thought about Fight Club. I could talk about Fight Club. I want to kind of like think about what I want to talk about in Fight Club review. But it's also been like so many days since I've seen it. Like a lot of things that I've watched or that I remember of it, I won't be able to go into like a full detail of like every plot point or thing that happens in the film like I normally do. So I kind of want to have a discussion about the point of the movie rather than like actually going into the nitty gritty of every detail. And I kind of want to do that. Maybe going forward, like maybe I could talk about the movies in a way that it's like it's a jumping off point for a subject that I really want to talk about, but That's not really like I can't do that with every movie I watch because not every movie I watch is relevant to something I care about. Like for instance with Nope. Nope is a horror movie that is written by Jordan Peele and directed by Jordan Peele. If you remember them Key and Peele sketches, you know Us and Get Out. Jordan Peele was a part of the comedy group Key and Peele. They made sketches. Us and Get Out are movies that are directed and written by Jordan Peele. Nope is his third edition, his third movie. So it goes Get Out, Us, and then Nope. And so and like all of his movies seem to have like these bigger themes. Things that he's calling out. And Nope is really just like a huge metaphor about the mistreatment of animals in Hollywood. And like the exploitation of animals and how that can go terribly wrong and horrifying. And so what I don't like, the movie itself I thought was overall decent. Keke Palmer was good, but I didn't really care for her. The main actor was good, but the whole movie was just okay, in my opinion. Excuse me. But the overall point of it, I didn't really particularly decide to care about it. There's a lot of cool scenes in it. There's this one scene, and spoiler alert, but there's this one scene where the house that they're living in is getting like rained and drenched in blood. And that's a really fucking cool scene. But I just don't particularly care about like the artistic representation, and like I just wanted to see some cool shit. And it felt pretty boring in my opinion. And so it's movies like that. I loved Us and Get Out. I thought those were interesting. Although I liked Get Out more than I liked Us. Us I liked, but I need to rewatch all of his films, but I'm pretty like super artistic movies. They like to do this thing where they're taking like 20 or 30 minute intervals that don't need to be in the movie, and it completely bums me out of the movie and I feel bored. Like when I'm watching a film, I am not glued to the screen and deeply entertained by every little scene. I need to be like making sure, I'll be interesting in a B-roll shot, but why am I watching 18 B-roll shots at like back to back? Why are we watching the scenery of a mountain for 10 minutes? Like, I hope you hear that. That's very relaxing. Anyways, and it's like I don't particularly care about every scene or like every like little minute, is because they're doing it for like artistic representation, and this is meant to represent something about society, and you're supposed to like go and look for the metaphors and stuff. And it's like I like that for movies to a degree, gets ridiculous. I want a movie that has all of that stuff. And it's entertaining. I am meant to be entertained by a movie. I do not need to be lectured by my movies. Or I do not need to be... There doesn't need to be like 10 minutes of silence in any movie. Like, I just... Unless something is actively happening that we're watching. And it's silent for a reason. And in horror films, they're really bad for that. Because the like excuse that they're making is that, oh, it's for tension. It's for building a really, like, it's for building suspense in this, you know. It's for building this really, like, niche suspense. I don't like it. I can't do it. And it's just like, I'm honestly tired of it. Like, every other movie feels like that in the horror genre. And I want to be scared, or I want to be like, and relentless jump scares aren't entertaining. But I like unhinged movies. Stuff that makes me cackle and laugh. Awkward moments that are like really weird, but it's meant to be weird type thing. I fuck with that vibe more. I'm just really not into like a lot of movies that I put out there nowadays. Okay, like one that I really dislike. And you're only watching it for the hot woman. And you're not watching it for any plot point. You're not even watching it because of the male actor, because he's from Breaking Bad. You're not even watching it for him. And it's Jesse from Breaking Bad. Ash. It's like this sci-fi horror called Ash. It was 10 minutes. And those are the exact movies I'm talking about. And other movies decide to do it too. Nope is more interesting because there's more dialogue involved. But Ash is essentially about this woman who wakes out of, like, I don't know if it's an amnesia, a coma or whatever, but she wakes up from being knocked out and she has amnesia. But she's on a ship. And as every space story, they're like trying to figure out how to extract some resource or something like that. Something went wrong and all her whole crew is dead, except for one guy. And as they're going through the film, they're trying to figure out, like, what happened. Or she's trying to figure out what happened. There are so many colorful psychedelic shots. That's the type of movie you only find interesting if you're on acid or weed. And I feel like certain movies are made for people like that. I have friends that use drugs. I'm not, like, picking on people who use drugs, but, like, something fundamentally fucks with your brain chemistry to the point where that actually is entertaining to you. Because I was just brain dead bored. I went and did something else. I think I was playing Stardew. Which is what I'm resorting to if a movie bores me. I'm booting up Stardew and playing it until the movie ends. And that's just... And that's just because I actually, like, want to finish certain movies, you know? also, I usually stream them, so I can't like stop the stream just because I hate it. And I want to generally finish it and see if it gets better. If before we hit the 1 hour mark, if I'm done with the movie, I consider the movie bad. I write it off completely as bad. To me, unentertaining and bad to me. It could be, by all metrics, a good film. It could be. But I think films are meant to entertain, and if it doesn't entertain you, it's a bad film. That's kind of where I'm at. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to this, and I hope you guys were relaxed by the slight thunder noises and whatnot, if you heard it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I'll catch you guys next time.